Ever feel like you're stuck in a waiting room while God's answer seems to be on a delayed flight? The silence can be deafening. The clock ticks louder than a drum, and you start to wonder if you've missed. Ever feel like you're stuck in a waiting room while God's answer seems to be on a delayed flight? The silence can be deafening. The clock ticks louder than a drum, and you start to wonder if you've missed the boarding call. But here's the truth that the Bible whispers over and over again. Patient waiting isn't wasted time. It's the very furnace where our faith is forged, where our character is refined, and where God's perfect timing is revealed. In this video, we'll walk through 10 powerful verses that turn the frustration of waiting into a season of hopeful expectation, showing you how to hold on to peace even when the answers are still on the horizon. We'll dive deep into the stories behind the scriptures, unpack what they meant for the people who first heard them, and draw out practical steps you can take today so that the waiting doesn't leave you empty-handed but rather richer in hope, stronger in spirit, and more anchored in the promises of the one who never sleeps. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel to get more of God's words. Psalm 27 verse 14. Wait for the Lord. Be strong and let your heart take courage. Wait for the Lord. This psalm reminds us that waiting is not a sign of weakness but an act of courage, a decision to trust that the Creator of the universe is still at work behind the scenes. Psalm 37 verse 7. Be still before the Lord and wait patiently for Him. Do not fret when people succeed in their ways, when they carry out their wicked schemes. In a world that rushes past us, pausing to be still is a radical statement of faith, a way to let God's justice unfold in His own time. Psalm 40:1-3. I waited patiently for the Lord. He turned to me and heard my cry. He lifted me out of the slumbering pit, out of the miry clay, and set my feet upon a rock, making my footsteps firm. He put a new song in my mouth, a hymn of praise to our God. The psalmist's testimony is a vivid picture of what happens when we endure the waiting. God pulls us from the depths, steadies us, and gives us a song of gratitude. Isaiah 40 verse 31. But they who wait for the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. This soaring promise paints a picture of supernatural stamina, like an eagle soaring above the storm, untouched by the turbulence below. Romans 12 verse 12. Rejoice in hope. Be patient in tribulation. Be constant in prayer. Paul's encouragement ties joy, patience, and prayer together, showing that the waiting season is not meant to be endured in silence, but lived out in hopeful communion with God. James 1 verse 4. Let patience have its perfect work, that you may be mature and complete, lacking nothing. Here patience is described as a refining fire that shapes us into the fullness of what God intends, leaving us whole and unshaken. Hebrews 6:1-15. Therefore, do not throw away your confidence, which has a great reward. For you have need of endurance, so that when you have done the will of God you may receive what was promised. For yet a little while, and the coming one will come and not delay. But my righteous one shall live by faith, and if he shrinks back, my soul has no pleasure in him. The writer of Hebrews urges us to keep our eyes on the promise, knowing that the delay is only a brief pause before the fulfillment. Galatians 6 verse 9. And let us not grow weary while doing good, for in due season we shall reap if we do not lose heart. This agricultural metaphor reminds us that every act of faith sown in patience will eventually bear fruit in God's appointed time. 2 Peter 3 verse 9. The Lord is not slow about His promise, as some count slowness, but is patient toward us, not willing that any should perish but that all should come to repentance. God's perceived delay is actually an expression of His merciful patience, giving everyone the chance to turn to Him. Micah 7 verse 7. But as for me, I will look to the Lord. I will wait for the God of my salvation. My God will hear me. The prophet's resolve to look and wait, even in the midst of uncertainty, is a powerful declaration of trust. We could also add Psalm 130 verse 5. I wait for the Lord. My soul waits, and in His word I put my hope. This verse captures the essence of waiting as an act of hopeful expectation rooted in God's faithful word. Lamentations 3:25-6. The Lord is good to those who wait for Him, to the soul that seeks Him. It is good that one should wait quietly for the salvation of the Lord. Here the prophet acknowledges that waiting, when done quietly and with hope, is a pathway to experiencing God's goodness. Habakkuk 2 verse 3, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak, and it shall not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. This prophetic promise assures us that God's timing is certain, even when it feels delayed. These verses are a reminder that waiting on God isn't a passive pause. It's an active, hopeful, and faith-filled journey. As you sit in the waiting room of life, may you find your heart anchored in these truths, your spirit refreshed by the promises, and your steps guided by the one who knows the exact minute of every appointment. If one of these passages spoke to your heart today, drop a comment below and let us know which verse lifted you up. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more uplifting devotionals that help you stand firm while you wait on God's perfect timing. Thank you for watching, and may His peace fill your waiting season.